What's up? It's JuJuan Buford, Managing Partner, JSB Business Solutions Group. And what I want to talk about today deals with the topic of how to not only find, but how to retain good staff and employees, right? It's the thing that's top of mind for almost every single entrepreneur I talk to. They say, I'm having a hard time finding good people, and I'm having a hard time when I do find them, retaining them, or I have to end up firing people. And, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with an entrepreneur earlier today, and actually even a couple of days ago. Wow, this is coming up frequently. And the conversation basically went along the lines of, I'm hiring people, but I'm having to let them go 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be. And at this point, I'm frustrated because I don't know what to do in terms of finding good people. And my response to her was a question. And it was a question just now with another entrepreneur I was talking to. And the question was this: if I were to take your top 4, 5, 6 staff persons, or your top 2 staff persons, or if you're a micro business owner and there's a team of me, you haven't grown to a team of we yet, and maybe you have a virtual assistant, or maybe an administrative assistant, or even your husband or your child, whatever the case may be. If I were to get behind closed doors with them, and I were to and you're not present, and I would ask them 4 questions. Number 1, do they know why your business exists other than making a profit? Do they know what your values are? Do they know what your purpose is? Do they know who and how you want to serve? Could they answer that question? Number 1. Number 2, do they know who your buyer persona is? Meaning the individual that is your ideal client, meaning the person is already looking for your solution. They have the capacity to pay for your solution, and they'll make a blink decision, right? So I don't mind a no. I don't mind a yes to my value prop. What I have very little toleration for is maybe. Maybe I'll look at it, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make a buying decision, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll follow with you next week, maybe. No. They're looking for your solution. They have capacity to pay for it. And they make what I call blink decisions, right? They don't leave you in the land of maybe. That's your ideal client. Do a deeper dive on that a little bit later on. But if I were to ask your staff, person or persons, can they answer that question? Who's the buyer persona? Can they give that person a name? Do they know where that person lives, where they hang out at, where they vacation, where they eat at, whether they're on LinkedIn or Facebook, whether they're on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok, whatever the case may be? Can you tell me how the person dresses? Can you tell me where they may live? Are they an urban dweller, suburban dweller, rural dweller? I mean, can you create that buyer persona? The next question I asked is, okay, now, do they know where your business is going to be a year from now? Do they know where you desire for your business to be a year from now, right? Have you painted the vision? Have you painted the picture that we're working together and we're working together to achieve this aim, this goal, right? And then last but not least, another question I would ask is, do your staff persons or person, do they really have a good understanding of what skills pay the bills? Do they know what talents and skills that they need to have currently? Do they need to inculcate or get better at? Do they know where they need to improve at? Do they know what skills and talents really matter most to take the business to the next level? Can they define those things? And I'm going to tell you, 99% of the time, business owners can't define those things. And this is why not being able to define these things will impact your ability to find people and will also impact your ability to retain people. Because number 1, if people aren't bought into your purpose and your vision, what you're looking to accomplish, how you want to impact the world, they're just mercenaries. Meaning they're just there for a check. And the moment a shinier object pops up, or the moment they don't see you as a shiny object anymore, they bounce, they leave. They're not going to come early. They're not going to leave late. They're not going to invest in themselves to become better at whatever their job, occupation, or role is in the business, because it's just money. It's just a check. You can get that anywhere. So that's one reason why it's very important. And look, compensation has to do more than just money. Can they see themselves growing, evolving? Can they see themselves being edified by the vision or goals that you have for your business? That's very important. The other reason why this piece is important is because they need to know what your expectations are. They need to know. It needs to be spelled out, just like the track they run on in terms of their responsibilities and what you expect in terms of what they should be doing on a day-to-day basis. They need to know what the expectations are in terms of talents and skills. They need to know. If you haven't clearly articulated the areas where they need to level up, or areas where they're already fantastic and maybe and so you can pat them on the back too, because remember, compensation is more than just compensation. A lot of times people want to be edified. They want to be patted on the back. They want to feel like they're appreciated and they're valued, right? If you don't know how to reward people psychologically for doing the right things, you're going to have a hard time as well. And then last but not least, or not last but not least, a lot of different other reasons, but I'm going through the top ones. The reason why this is important is because oftentimes the people you work with are going to be your best recruiters. If they know the direction the company's going, if they know what talents and skills are required to be successful, if they believe in a vision and a purpose, and they believe it's a growth opportunity for themselves and other people around them, chances are your best employees, the most talented individuals, the folks who are a good fit, are going to come from the individuals who are already part of your company. But if you haven't defined these things, if it's not defined for them, they can't do that. They can't really advocate for the company. Outside the role that they're playing in your company, they can't go out and advocate because they don't know what talents and skills are actually needed to grow and scale the company. And they're not going to feel motivated or empowered to do so. So that's why answering those 4 questions are so absolutely important. And if you're struggling with finding good people, if you're struggling with how to retain or keep good people, look, this is entrepreneurship. In other words, as far as I'm concerned, entrepreneurs are a synonym for just leadership.